Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News for this hour. I am Gift Ogete. Tension and palpable fear has returned to Ekiti State with the face-off between the 19 APC lawmakers and the state governor Ayodele Fayose degenerating into an impeachment saga. Rashid has more on the protest by PDP members against such moves.
The situation is tensed and tension is high, no thanks to the impeachment crisis engulfing Ekiti State. The worst hit is the seat of power, Ado Ekiti, as there is total lockdown with streets deserted and shops closed, while residents also stayed indoors, with civil servants also heading home. All commercial activities are paralyzed, while entry points into the city are reportedly barricaded in an apparent move to resist the 19 APC lawmakers from entering Ekiti from their alleged Osun State base. While all this was going on, some organized labor activists hold a peace rally suing for peace in the state.
As long as there is no peace in Ekiti, we workers will be affected, because this is a civil service state, and that is why we want to tell everybody, especially those who are at the back, who are in Lagos, who are in various parts of the country, or even outside Nigeria, thinking that some people or it is the present government that is causing problems. No, we want to say that it is those outside that are throwing stones into Ekiti, and we are not going to take it. Where were those 19 legislators before they held the presidential election? They did not attempt to come back. It's a political problem. This thing is not about Fayemi, it's not about Fayose, it is about Ekiti. And we believe that we own Ekiti. This is the time we have to tell them that we want peace in Ekiti State.
While security agencies and residents wait with apprehension of the much touted sitting of the 19 APC lawmakers, Ado Ekiti residents lament the precarious situation the state is.
No one problem, because all the person who won't come do problem here, they don't thief our money go before. They won't come thief another one again. You don't want them again. You don't want to see them here. If you see them, now Allah. They say, no way, we go tell, the airport, we tell our president. You know what, APC, we don't come to destroy this Ekiti here now, because there is a lot of problem here. They won't create problem for Ekiti now, because there is no problem for Ekiti.
With the situation on ground in Ekiti, it is no longer at ease. No one can predict what is next, as the fate of Ayo Fayose now hangs in the balance. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Meanwhile, the 19 Ekiti APC lawmakers insist they will not be deterred in carrying out their constitutional duties, even in the face of intimidation and intense opposition. The lawmakers stated this while addressing a press conference in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, after they were largely prevented from accessing the Ekiti State House of Assembly by security operatives. They claim that they were blocked at Itaure Junction in Ekiti State by a detachment of the Nigerian Army under the command of one General Momo. They further revealed that they were delayed for more than 2 hours and had to change their destination to Osun State when the soldiers were not yielding. The lawmakers alleged that the soldiers were in connivance with the Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose to prevent them from carrying out their constitutional duties, even after notifying the police of their plan to begin sitting. The 19 lawmakers were on their way to Ado Ekiti to commence impeachment proceedings against Governor Fayose.
What was actually meted to us today at Itaure Junction is actually uncalled for. Because the way and manner honorable members were treated, to the extent that they did not even allow us to move beyond that Itaure, it's something that we should draw the attention of Nigerians to. One, that are they saying that we can no longer perform our constitutional responsibility? Two, are they saying that we are not legislators from Ekiti State? And that three, are they saying that we are not from Ekiti State?
We've gotten information and hints that Governor Ayodele Fayose had brought thugs out again. They were parading the assembly complex. And as a matter of fact, some of them are coming to that Itaure houses, in which we saw the action of the military as a devilish collaboration in order to hold us down so that the governor's talks, led by the deputy governor and the chief of staff, can meet us there. but we had to develop our sixth sense. And that was why we, instead of following them, we had to, take a U-turn.
Now to Rivers State, where a coalition of 17 political parties in the state is demanding the removal of the resident electoral commissioner in the state ahead of April 11th election. Representatives of the party were at the national headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abuja to table their grievances against Geshila Khan. They want the electoral commissioner removed for loosely colluding with the People's Democratic Party to perpetrate electoral fraud on March 28. INEC officials, however, promised to look into the allegations while urging the protesters against taking the laws into their hands.
We are here to register our protestation to INEC to show to the whole world that that woman is biased, and we want an umpire that is impartial. She is partial, she is political, she is partisan, she has done everything to favor the People's Democratic Party. We want a free and fair election. We don't want an INEC commissioner who will be fair to one party and of course unfair to the other. That's what we want. That's why we are here. We have sent in our letter. We have previously written to INEC. Of course, it's, the whole world is a living witness to what happened on the 28th of March. That was a caricature of an election. She simply gave sensitive electoral material such as the result sheets to PDP stalwarts in Rivers State, and they stayed in the comforts of their homes and wrote results and announced. And of course, we protested, we sent letters to INEC. INEC, in its wisdom, said that that result should be allowed to stay. Of course, we'll take legal channels to challenge that result.
With the state's assembly elections scheduled to take place on Saturday, youths from Orion 1 local government area of Edo State have staged a peaceful demonstration to the INEC's office in Benin to demand that the resident electoral commissioner, Mike Igini, remain non-partisan. The youths, who displayed placards with various inscriptions, say they had earlier sent petitions to the commission on a number of issues cited. Leader of the protest, Matthias Osakwalo, briefing the protesting youths outside the commission's office in Benin after a closed-door meeting with the REC, says the electoral officer in charge of Orion 1 local government area during last polls, where the local government area's polls was cancelled, has stepped down. Osakwalo assured the protesters that all lapses in various polls in previous polls
submitted your petition, the concerned Orion 1 youth, to the commissioner, and he has said he will look into it. And I want to also enjoin us to go peacefully about the election, to go and use our ballot papers, our voters' card, to send those who are our choice, to send those that will lead us, that will bring development to Orion. Please and please and please, let's go about our lawful duties before, during, and after the election. The result of the 7 wards, he has shown some evidence to us of some lapses in the result, but he has promised us that he will look into it. He said he's going to speak with our leader, and he also totally admitted that the fault is from the INEC. And as we speak now, the INEC official, the INEC official in Orion has been sacked.
The Edo State Resident Electoral Commissioner Mike Igini assured the protesters of a free and fair State House of Assembly elections comes
in this election, both for State House of Assembly as well as the suspended Orion local government and other parts, we are going to have elections. It is clearly on simple majority. It is clearly on simple majority.
To ensure transparency of the polls, Igini says one representative of each party will accompany the commission to the Central Bank of Nigeria in Benin to collect materials for the polls. The Plateau State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has called for the removal of the state resident electoral commissioner Godwin Kwanga. Speaking with journalists at the press center in Jos, the chairman of the party, later Lateng Dabang, called for the immediate removal of the state electoral umpire, accusing him of being partisan. According to the APC chairman, among other offences noted against the Plateau REC is that he is always at the state government house and has been found several times paying visits to the PDP gubernatorial candidate, Pajuk. Although the presidential and National Assembly elections have come and gone smoothly in Plateau State, it seems the forthcoming Guber and State House of Assembly elections in Plateau State may not go without hitches, as APC have raised grievous allegations against the resident electoral commissioner in the state, Godwin Kwanga.
We as a party wish to state as follows. 1. That the Plateau State Independent National Electoral Commissioner, the REC, Dr. Godwin Kwanga, should immediately be removed and deployed and replaced, as he has grossly been compromised, and we as a party have lost confidence in him and do not trust him to organize a free and fair election in Plateau State.
Among the dissatisfaction the APC have said to have found against the Plateau REC was the inability of the State House of Assembly materials already in circulation since last week, when they were supposed to be in the confines of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
To be in circulation, it means that those documents are no longer secure. These documents are supposed to be in Central Bank. It is today that we are supposed to take delivery. Our party agents are at the Central Bank to take delivery of these sensitive materials. But today, I am showing you a result sheet that is supposed to be used on Saturday, that was used a week ago to collect the results. So what is the guarantee that this particular material is not in the hands of our opponents?
The police have meanwhile warned all security details attached to political office holders against accompanying their principals to polling centers on April 11th. They are also barred from collating centers after the voting exercise. Police spokesman Emmanuel Lujuku said in a statement that only police personnel specifically assigned for election duties must be seen within and around the election designated places. He added that Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba has ordered the arrest of any policeman who decides to escort politicians to polling units anywhere in the country. The police are, however, full of praises for all the law enforcement agencies who contributed to making the March 28 elections relatively hitch-free. The police authorities say they have identified a number of people who played different roles in pre-election violence in Rivers State. This, they say, is aside from 124 other electoral incidents that are being investigated after the March 28 presidential elections. Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba disclosed this at the opening of a conference with all police commissioners in Abuja on the forthcoming April 11th elections. Basiaye reports.
As Nigerians prepare to go to the polls again on April 11, the police hierarchy has given assurance on adequate security. This, it said, is to prevent further electoral crimes in view of current efforts to fish out and bring to book perpetrators of electoral violence across the country. The Inspector General also listed Rivers State as one of the areas on the focus.
This is as regards the arrest in Rivers, or incidents, violent incidents in Rivers. But let me say that the strategies we are adopting to prevent further incidents are better kept to our chest for now. Let me also say that the purpose of this meeting includes strengthening our deployments to Rivers and other states where we believe we really need to strengthen the deployments to prevent lawlessness.
On the issue of the election day bomb attack in Enugu State, the police chief had this to say.
We did all our best, our very best indeed, to protect INEC officials, to protect INEC materials, to protect INEC offices. Unfortunately, incidents happened. Isolated as they were, we want to treat them as challenges so that they don't occur in the April 11th elections for the governors and state houses of assembly.
He further revealed that 124 election-related incidents are also being investigated, with quite a number already being charged to court. This, the IG says the police will attempt to reduce on April 11 by placing more emphasis on the prevention.
So far, we have 124 incidents that were investigated, and quite a number of them have been charged to court already.
While the police high command re-strategizes ahead of Saturday's governorship and State House of Assembly elections, Nigerians can only hope that the relative peace and security witnessed during the presidential elections will be repeated, if not surpassed. Basia Ye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Watching CoreTV News, we'll take a break. Stay with us.
The army was not supposed to be visible or to be around any polling unit unless there is a breakdown of law and order and they have been invited by the Inspector General of Police.
That elections are sheltered in Africa is no news. But in Nigeria, it comes with consequences.
Against the will of one man.
Consequences that have toggled the nation's politics and may shape how Nigeria elects.
This is the year of PDP.
The momentum gathers.
When we promise, we deliver.
The fireworks is unending.
We did it and continue to do it.
55 years this year, and in her fourth republic, this is Nigeria's 5th general elections. All the action, all the news, the updates, and the news behind the news we will bring to you live from the field and in the studio on CoreTV News as Nigeria elects.
Don't forget that you can also catch us on our social media platforms on Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube at youtube.com/CoreTV News. The Oba of Lagos, Rowan Akiolu, has denied newspaper reports about his alleged threat to Igbos in Lagos to vote for All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Akinwumi Ambode. The Oba, in a statement signed on his behalf by Lateef Ajose, the Ogbeoluwa of Lagos, said the meeting he had with Igbos in the whole of Lagos is just the normal one that is held regularly. He ordered that he also prayed for the continued peaceful coexistence and prosperity of Lagos. The monarch ordered that his alleged statement on the issue of people ending up in the lagoon is nothing but a storm in a teacup. He said that the statement is just a proverb on those working against the throne and its interests ending up in the lagoon, as is the tradition of Lagos. Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has reacted to the statement credited to the Oba of Lagos on Igbo voters in the state by calling for his immediate suspension from office. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, who has been monitoring events surrounding the monarch's alleged statement, has details in this report.
On Saturday, if any one of you, I swear in the name of God Almighty Allah, goes against my will that Ambode, inshallah, will be the next governor of Lagos State. The person is going to die inside this water. I'm not ready to beg, appeal to anybody. If you do what I want, Lagos will continue to be prosperous for you. If you go against this, you will perish in the water.
After the alleged inflammatory statement by the Oba of Lagos, this happened.
Obviously, we are very, very sorry for what happened last Saturday. What I'm trying to tell you, sir, is that we come here today to tell you that coming Saturday, you will see a different thing.
According to Lagos PDP, the silence of the state governor over the alleged inflammatory statement suggests the Oba is acting the script of the APC.
Because this is beyond politics now. And so we expect that the governor should take it very seriously and suspend the Oba of Lagos at this time. The Oba of Lagos should not still be in possession of that stool as we go into this election, because already he has desecrated the stool and he has shown that he is a threat to free, fair, credible election on Saturday.
Lagos State APC, however, disagrees, dissociating itself from the monarch's statement.
It's a political issue. This is a political season. If you don't say anything, somebody will put words into your mouth. I can't tell you. I won't believe that Kabiyesi said it. They're just pancaking it, those who want to play politics with it. And so that we can go and vote Jimmy Abacha. Kabiyesi is just on his own. He's not APCO. He's not the governor. So allow the man. He's a decent man, former AIG. Let him hold his opinion.
Though the governorship election is coming in less than 4 days, the controversies surrounding the alleged threat by the monarch is a pointer to the competitive nature of the coming contest. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Following the alleged inflammatory statement by the Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu to Igbos, two groups in the All Progressives Congress have formally defected to the PDP ahead April 11th governorship elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke has details.
Real governance and liberation from oppression is what Mandates and Laura Group want.
We decided to leave APC and join PDP because we want real change in Lagos governance, and also determined to liberate ourselves.
That we are one of the few groups who recognize the fledgling dictatorship of His Excellency, the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Tinubu. And it was through this passion that what was right, that we started this group, and we have been working towards the freedom of Lagos State, towards the emancipation of Lagos State from the grip of a one-man dictatorship.
Welcoming the group to the party, April 11 election is very crucial to the Lagos PDP.
It will gain history that you are here to join us in winning the election of Saturday. The Oba of Lagos, who is supposed to be a paramount ruler, a non-partisan leader, that's supposed to be a father of all, came with a bang yesterday, and that bang is about to end the reign of APC in Lagos State.
The party is back on the drawing board to work for a better governorship elections.
The game is not over. Let me assure not only our brothers from the southeast, the Igbos, all other Nigerians, that Lagos State is the melting pot, the economic nerve center of this country, the economic nerve center of West Africa. We accommodate all and sundry. Nobody can hoodwink you, nobody can throw you out into any lagoon. Our lagoon is not meant for human beings, our lagoon is meant for fishing. So nobody, after Saturday, go out and exercise your God-given right, and we are waiting. But in whatever corner you go and vote, stay there and defend your vote.
The party urged all, especially the non-indigens in Lagos, not to be afraid to go out to vote and defend it on April 11 governorship elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Ahead the governorship polls in Oyo State opposition parties insist they are not jittery as election day fast approaches and would not leave any stone unturned in winning the seat of power from the ruling party. Though still dissatisfied with the outcome of the recently concluded presidential and National Assembly elections in the state, stalwarts of the Labour and Accord Party pledged to seek redress in court, at the same time work against the repetition of history in the state. Omotayo Alo has more.
Though adjudged peaceful and credible by election observers, the conduct and result of the presidential and National Assembly elections in Oyo State may not seem to be entirely free and fair, as some political parties question the outcome of the poll. Aside from protesting against the outcome, stalwarts of Labour Party and Accord in the state say the last has not been heard from them until justice prevails as to discovering the true winners of the senatorial and National Assembly seats in the state.
After the election, we wrote a strong-worded petition listing some of these incidents, and we sent that particular petition to the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Tairo Jega, and we copied the resident electoral commissioner himself. And we are warning that this kind of thing should not be allowed to happen in the gubernatorial election. Oyo State people are wiser, and they know what they want. Any attempt by anybody or a group of persons to distort facts will be vehemently resisted.
In some area like Akwete, they finished accreditation, and also they discovered that they did not have ballot papers. So these are kind of things which, of course, APC did to manipulate the entire electoral process.
The same thing that happens to President Goodluck Jonathan is awaiting Mr. Abiola Ajimobi for your state. It's going to be a revolution. People are just sick and tired of his policies and programs.
Debunking claims of a possible merger between some opposition political parties in a bid to stand a better chance at the poll. Accord and Labour Party insist they would not be a part to a coalition government, but would as well keep an open door to any candidate that wishes to step down his ambition and join their party.
For us in Labour Party, we are going to contest head-on with the ruling government, and we are going to defeat them by the grace of God, because it's just leaving, to complete his first-term tenure, and Otumbala Okala is going to take over. So, in short of merger, we are not part of any merging. We are not merging with anybody. We are not even talking to anybody about that. We are not even thinking about it.
Shenzola Doja is still a candidate. He's still contesting on the platform of Accord. He's not stepping down for anybody, and he's not merging with any political party.
Politicians describe the first election as a process to prepare better through voter education and more vigilance to arrive at a free, fair and credible election. They, however, called on the independent electoral body in the state to put its house in order and ensure that the highly contested governorship seat is conducted in a hitch-free process. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
Thank you so much for staying with us till the end. That's where we draw the curtains on behalf of the entire production crew. I am Gift, or Get Enjoy the rest of our